come to this point of developing rati, an attraction for hearing and chanting. So after all our devotional activities, this is the test. Whether we are actually progressing in devotional service, this is the test. Whether one is developing rati, a taste for hearing, chanting, and all the devotional activities. The enthusiasm in devotional service should grow. That is the test, that one is developing a taste. So if years are progressing, but taste is reducing, then what? There's a problem. There's a problem. Problem in what? Process.
Process, not following.
The application. There's a beautiful purport in the third canto of the Bhagavatam. I think so. This is the third chapter. Anyway, one of the verses, beautiful purport. Prabhupada says that the service attitude increases with the progress of age in Krishna consciousness. The service attitude is supposed to increase, not decrease. He explains in material life there's a retirement. Why? Why in material life there's retirement? In Malaysia there's retirement?
Yes, every place.
Which age? What is the age for retirement?
60.
60 years. In India also it is same. Why? Why there's retirement?
Because the body gets old.
Yes, because the body grows old. Does the soul get old?
No.
No. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada says there is no retirement for the soul. Therefore, he says on the spiritual platform, the service attitude should increase, not decrease. And sometimes devotees say, oh, now we have grown old, now our service should reduce. No! Service should increase as one grows older. Maybe on the bodily platform some service may reduce. But Srila Prabhupada showed how one can do service even in old age. Srila Prabhupada practically showed. So, that's the test. Whether the rati for hearing and chanting is increasing, the rati for devotional service should increase. Otherwise, we should understand that we are wasting our time. Something is going wrong. Okay, we're proceeding now. 9th verse. So what should dharma be used for? Dharmasya hi apavargasya narto arthaya padalpade nartasya dharmekantasya kamolabhaya smritaha. All occupational engagements are certainly meant for ultimate liberation. They should never be performed for material gain. Furthermore, according to sages, one who is engaged in the ultimate occupational service should never use material gain to cultivate sense gratification. So here he is saying, what should dharma be used for? Dharmasya hi apavargasya. The goal of the practice of dharma is apavarga. And I'm sure everyone knows this apavarga. What is that? Pavarga and apavarga. So pavarga is material life, apavarga is liberation. So the goal of dharma should be apavargasya. Nartho arthaya upakalpate, not for simply getting artha, not for simply getting some material things. So, and narthasya dharmekantasya kamo labhai smrita. And if one gets artha, then it should only be used for the practice of dharma and not for kama. Okay. So if one gets artha, okay, no problem. You can get artha. You can do your occupation. You can get artha. You can get wealth. But what should the wealth be used for? Dharma. For the practice of dharma and not for kama. Kamulabhaya smrita. Okay, let's read this. Okay, this is a good quote here from Srila Prabhupada in the connection to the previous verse. Prabhupada says, attachment means love. whether you are trying to satisfy Krishna. That is the test. If that is not done, simply formulas, if you execute the formula without any satisfaction of Krishna, then Sutta Goswami says it is simply laboring and waste of time. Okay? So, the important point is, as we are practicing the various limbs of devotional service, what we should be saying? Whether we are satisfying Krishna. Because when one satisfies Krishna, then Krishna gives the rati, then Krishna gives the higher taste. If that is not done, simply formulas, means simply ritualistically doing things, mechanically, Hare Krishna is going on, but mechanically. Or any other service one can do mechanically without the goal to please Krishna. We should always remember this point. The goal is to satisfy Krishna. The goal is not simply the activity per se. Therefore, we saw the previous quote also. Activities even materialists are doing. They are also selling books, they are also building buildings, they are also making flower garlands, they are cooking, they are also doing everything. What is the difference? What is the difference? Satisfying Krishna. That makes the whole difference. The consciousness is what makes the whole difference. So here, he says, dharma in this verse refers to control of the mind and senses, shamadam, etc., for the jnani, to yama and niyama for the yogis, and to hearing, chanting and other devotional process for the devotee. So of course, talking about devotees, then it basically refers to the devotional activities. And then the goal should be apavarga. Apavarga means having the goal of apavarga. It should be understood that by these processes, apavarga is the concomitant result of practice. That apavarga is liberation for the jnani and yogi, and prema bhakti for the devotee. Okay, so for the devotee, apavarga means prema bhakti, because that is the goal for the devotees. For the jnanis and yogis, it is only liberation. Okay. So, and the last line he says, the devotee uses material assets for service to the Lord and his devotees. This is clear. So, the material assets must be used. Okay, fine. So, we'll just finish 2 more verses, okay? So now he says, Kamasya naindriya priti labho jiveta yavata jivasya tattva jigyasa narto yasheha karmabhi. Life's desire should never be directed towards sense gratification. One should desire only a healthy life or self-preservation. Since a human being is meant for inquiry about the absolute truth, nothing else should be the goal of one's works. Okay, so in the previous verse he said, dharma should only be used for apavarga. And even if one gets artha, he should not use it for sense gratification, but for dharma itself, for the service of the Lord. So again here he says that kamasya in this case means desires. Desires should not be meant for na indriya priti, should not be meant for satisfaction of the senses, but they must be meant for jivasya tattva jigyasa, for inquiring about the absolute truth. So as Prabhupada writes in the purport, in politics, social service, altruism, philanthropy, and ultimately in religion or even in salvation, the very same tint of sense gratification is ever increasingly predominant. But then people will always be dissatisfied if there is that desire for sense gratification. So he says, leaders must always disappoint the voters by not satisfying their senses. The same is applicable in all other fields. No one is serious about the problems of life. Even those who are on the path of salvation desire to become one with the absolute truth and desire to commit spiritual suicide for sense gratification. So therefore, the desire should only be meant for tattva jigyasa. And what is that tattva? He describes in the next verse. Vadanti tat tattvavidas tattvam yajnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti shabhyate. Learned transcendentalists who know the absolute truth call this non-dual substance Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. And I'm sure you have heard many times on this subject matter. of Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. What are the famous analogies?
The sun,
The
the
sunshine and the sun.
Okay, another one?
There's one, the train.
Fire.
Okay. What about the train?
I heard about the one with the train. The train is very, or the mountain. The mountain is very far. You walk closer, you see the different things, and when you are on the mountain, you see more details.
Okay, fine. So these are Prabhupada's examples. Okay, so that should be the goal. The goal should be tattva jigyasa. The goal should be to inquire about the absolute truth, which is realized in three phases: Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. So okay, that's the end of this section. So we're having one more class, correct?
Yes.
3 to 5, right? So we'll try to finish the rest of the chapter. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granthashram Bhagavatam ki jai, Samved Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.